Now I'm going to show you about something about flashcards. I said I'd show you how to make and then use flashcards because a lot of our students enjoy doing this for revision purposes. This is an example actually of kind of a bad flashcard. It's got 2 questions on it. I think it's much better to use just 1 question for each flashcard. Otherwise you're trying to remember everything. It's got 2 answers. It's very good. It's got a little question. It's got some images. It's always good to have images. However, if you answered this question correctly and then answered this question incorrectly, you might think you've done okay. And you might say, oh, I can do that. But in fact, you've only done half of it correctly. So it's much better to have 1 question for each flashcard. Here's an example of 1 question flashcard. You'll notice that I've put MH here. That's for manual handling. And I like to put the topic at the corner of each flashcard. So what does manual handling mean? That's my question. And on the other side, I've got moving and lifting by hand. Notice I've covered this up. I don't have to really, but it's good to be able to answer the other way as well. So I've put another question here. Moving and lifting by hand, what is this called? It's called manual handling. So, in fact, flashcards can be used in both directions. All right, here we've got another question. What sort of injuries can manual handling cause? And over here, I've got 3 answers: muscle strain, hernias, and spinal injuries. I think there might be a problem here. What sort of injuries is too vague. I need to be more specific. Perhaps say, what sort of injuries can manual handling cause? Name 3, so that I know I must get 3. If I don't get 3, it's not correct. Another thing I could do is actually put the answers in a list, because then I might remember that they are 3 separate things. So muscle strain, hernias, and spinal injuries. I could also use a sticker and cover each one up so that I have to remember all 3 in order to get the flashcard right. And remember again, you can ask a question of this in order to turn it over and answer the other side. So here you could say, what are these an example of? They're examples of injuries caused by manual handling. Going on, we've got what legislation relates to manual handling. Notice I'm not asking the date here. I just want the law that relates to manual handling. So I've asked 1 question, I have 1 answer. Here, when, so date, did manual handling operation regulations become legislation? Here I've got an answer, 1992. Now I might want to sometimes put colour and images with my flashcards. In fact, I would say do your own images. Don't borrow the flashcards from a friend. They have to be your images, they have to be your notes, they have to be your flashcards. So here, just for an example, you could actually draw a hand and put 1992 here, and that might help you, sorry, it's a very bad hand, that this is manual handling 1992. Do an image that works for you. Here, I have been specific. I've put what 3 things do you need to think about when you use kinetic lifting. So I've been very specific about the 3, and I've put the answers separately here. So I might get 1 right, I might get 2 right, I might get all 3, but I have to get all 3 to be completely sure of that flashcard. Another way to use flashcards is that actually you can take them home, you can work on them, and you can use separate boxes. Here I'm going to look at the flashcards every day. Here, this might be every 3 days. Here, once a week and once a month. So first of all, I put all my flashcards in the everyday section. If I start getting some of them correct, I can move them into the every 3 days. If I get some right every 3 days, then I can move them into once a week. And finally, I'm hoping that I always remember them, and I go to once a month. If at any stage I get them wrong, I have to take them right back and look at them every day again. But please use colour, please use images, and I hope that this method and your own methods that you develop work for you. Good luck. So remember, it's about making and using flashcards. 1 question per flashcard. Be specific. If you want 3 answers, say you want 3 answers. Use colours and pictures. Research has shown that people remember more when it's colourful and when they've made their own pictures. Write the main topic in the corner so you know that all the flashcards go together. And also do test yourself. Test yourself today, a few days' time, over a week or a month, but test yourself until you know it.